Section 10.2, number 45. Find each measure, round each linear measure to the nearest hundredth, and each arc measure to the nearest degree. On number 45, we're asked to find the circumference of circle S, and we are given the central angle of 70 degrees and the arc length of 7.94. So we can set up an equation for number 45. Arc length is equal to angle over 360 times the circumference. And if we want to solve for the circumference, so we're going to solve for the circumference in this equation here, we would multiply both sides by the reciprocal of this fraction. Okay, so by multiplying by 360 over x, it would cancel, and we would get C is equal to arc length times 360 over x. So that's what we need to do to find the circumference. We need to take the arc length, which in this case is 7.94, and multiply that by 360 over the central angle, which is 70. So with a calculator, we would just take 360 divided by 70 times 7.94, and we get roughly 40.83 inches. Number 47, find the radius of circle K. So for 47, our length is equal to angle over 360 times the circumference, which is the same as 2 pi r, and we want to solve this equation for radius. So to get radius by itself, first we would get rid of x over 360, so we're going to multiply both sides by the reciprocal. So we would get 360 over x times arc length is equal to 2 pi r. And now to get radius by itself, we need to divide both sides by 2 pi, which is the same as multiplying by 1 over 2 pi. So we can multiply by 1 over 2 pi, and see if we multiplied by 1 over 2 pi on the right side, this 2 pi and this 2 pi would cancel and we'd get r by itself. So that's why we're doing it. So we get radius. So we can substitute in what we know here. We would take 1 over 2 pi times 360 over our angle, which is 340 degrees, times our arc length, which is 56.37, and that will be equal to our radius. So on a calculator, we need to take 1 divided by, and you should probably put this in parentheses, divided by a quantity of 2 pi, times 360 divided by 340 times 56.37, and r is approximately Typing that in now. And we get 9.50 feet. So in our next section here, in circle C, the measure of HCG is 2x, and the measure of angle HCD is equal to 6x plus 28. Find each measure. Number 49, we want to find the measure of arc HD. So the measure of arc HD will be equal to the measure of angle HCD, which is the central angle. So the arc angle and the central angle are always congruent. So if we can find somehow the measure of angle HCD, we'll have our answer. So based off of this information here that we're given, HCG and HCD would form a linear pair. Or in other words, since GD is the diameter, this angle plus this angle forms a semicircle, so 180 degrees. So our equation could be 2x, which is the measure of angle HCG, plus 6x plus 28, which is the measure of angle HCD, equals 180. Now, if we combine like terms, we would have 8x, and if we subtract 28 from both sides, we would have 152, and divide both sides by 8, and x is equal to 19. So if x is equal to 19, and once again on 49 we want to find HD. So HD is the same as, is equal to the measure of central angle HCD. So that angle right in there. Let me erase some of this. So the measure that we want to find will be the same as this angle, which we now have x, and we can substitute in for HCD and get a value for. So that would be 6 times x, which is 19, plus 28, which simplifies to 142. On number 51, a pirate ship ride follows a semicircle path as shown in the diagram. Part A, what is the measure of arc AB? So arc AB, we're going from this point to this point right here, which would be the semicircle from here to here minus this angle and this angle. So this would just be 180 minus 2 times 22, which comes out to be 136 degrees. Part B, if CD is equal to 62 feet, so what is CD in our diagram? CD is from the center to the edge. So that is the radius of the circle, center to edge. So if the radius is 62 feet, what is the length of AB? So we want to find this arc length now. So the length of this part of the circle. And arc length is equal to arc angle, which we just found, which is 136 over 360 times the circumference, because we're finding a fraction of the circumference. So Since we're given the radius is 62, we want to take 2 pi r, 2 pi radius, 62. And then on our calculator, we can just type this in. 136 divided by 360 times 2 pi times 62. And to the nearest hundredth, we get 147.17 feet. And there you have it. See you next time.